So now that we've had some time for Scale and AC to get sitting with us, it is time to speculate when it comes to theories. And I got a couple of these, and we're going to be talking about a lot of them within the next couple of weeks, especially this week also. But there is one that I've thought when I was watching the live stream experience for the second time, and then I've seen more people talk about it, including Michelle Collins on Twitter, who asked me about it and convinced me, you know what, that's today's video, and that is that Scale and AC is a prequel to Trench. Weird thing to think about, but let's talk about it really quick. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on when you're watching this. How's it going, guys? First off, I hope you're having a good day out there today, whether you're watching this in the morning, afternoon, or night. I hope your day's going well so far, and I hope it continues to go well. Anyway, let's go ahead and start with it. Here is the Scale and AC is a prequel theory. So as this theory, obviously, it means that Scale and Icy is the album before Trench. So the storyline would go Blurryface, Scale and Icy, Trench, then this final album of the Dima storyline that we're going to be getting sooner rather than later, according to Tyler. Now, people like to point into two different directions. A lot of people have been pointing out the songs in Scale and Icy as well as in Trench, and personally for me, I liked pointing out the things within the live stream. So we're going to go out in both routes here. We're going to start off with the songs. Now, Michelle Collins tagged me on Twitter. They include the fact that in the Shy Away music video, Tyler is making that phone call, which of course when we all saw that got a lot of people speculating who is Tyler calling. And Michelle Collins points back to the very start of Chlorine. We get this little voicemail. It sounds like,
"So where are you? It's been a little while.
And it keeps on going, and the song starts. And this whole idea of a phone call comes back again in the song Bounce Man. I don't know if you got your phone because this went straight to voicemail, and if you don't reply, I know that you cross state lines. Bouncing off Bounce Man and Shy Away, Ada Kopchak sent me an email saying that it's possible that Tyler in the phone call in Shy Away is making a call to this person, and it went straight to voicemail because they cross state lines because they're on the run and go. Wait. We'll talk about that later. But thank you so much for your email, Ada. I really appreciate it. And something I personally noticed is that the same voice that's in the beginning of Chlorine is also the same voice that's in the beginning of Redecorate. And of course, the message in the beginning of Redecorate is there's a wonderful structure to the city, puts my mind at rest, which is in one of Clancy's journals. So maybe Tyler is talking to Clancy within this voice call in Shy Away. And the stuff we are hearing is what Clancy's saying to Tyler. Where are you? It's been a little while, saying that he hasn't seen Tyler in forever, and maybe Clancy is reading their journals to Tyler. Maybe Tyler's convincing, yeah, let's go escape. My buddy, Josh, he's the leader of the Banditos. We can go escape and we can be free of Dima forever. And then Tyler and Josh leave, then Clancy eventually leaves also, which leads into the event of Jumpsuit, which, as we know, Clancy is watching all the Jumpsuit go down. He is watching Tyler and Nico go down, which is written in one of his journals that we cited with our Josh's Keon's Theory video. And then Clancy goes back. And there are some songs on Trench that correlate directly with Scale and AC. For example, if you put Morph and Redecorate back to back, they are practically the same beats. They practically have the same kind of synth ending on it. You literally put the songs back to back, they can transition into each other beautifully. Then you get songs like Leave the City and Choker. I know I'm not alone in Trench. I'm not alone. These faces facing me. I know it's over. I was born a choker. They know that it's almost over. And of course, we need to talk about the main thing, which is SAI is propaganda. Now, of course, Scale and AC being the propaganda album that it is promoting vialism. It is saying that, you know what, everything's okay in the lovely city of Dima. Everything is okay. Vialism, it's not bad at all. It is very wonderful. Then you listen to the album, you start listening to it, you're just listening to the music, like, okay, this is happy. Then when you get to No Chances, you're like, oh, what is, then it hits you with Redecorate, then you just start crying your eyes out at 2 a.m. in the morning, like everything's fine, but you know, it's not fine because Redecorate really hits you hard. Anyone else? Of course, we should address the elephant in the room with the title Scale and AC, which is the anagram of Clancy is dead. Now, Tyler did say in the interview that it was completely by accident that Scale and AC also was Clancy is dead. It wasn't planned at all. However, we as the clique know that everything is intentional with Toying Path. Something always means something. Nothing means something. So, it is Is it possible that it was a complete coincidence? Absolutely. Most likely it probably wasn't, and Tyler definitely planned this. And a lot of people are going to point to this being the thing of, yeah, no, it's not a prequel because Clancy is dead right in the album title. But it's propaganda. We've all been saying Clancy is alive since the beginning of this process, and Dima is trying to spread this lie. And this is where we get into the live stream experience. So just like most of the album, the very beginning of the live stream experience, what does the Good Day Demon set, it has a very retro look to it. Like the carpets, the outfits that Dan and Sally are wearing, including Tyler's outfit a little bit, especially those socks. Like, what is going on there, Tyler? But it's like this definite throwback feeling to it. In this interview segment, two notable things happen. We're going to save one of these for the very end of this video. And now the big thing we're going to talk about here is that Dan looks at Tyler and says, "So you got some new songs, don't you there, buddy?" And Sally, of course, gets really excited. And then they're going to say Tyler is going to play a song for us. And then Sally says, "Stressed Out? That's my favorite." That's not a new song. Or is it? Basically, what I'm hinting at is that it's possible that Blurryface is a prequel to Trench. Okay, it is, because Blurryface did come out first than Trench. But I think it's possible that Skill and Icy in this storyline takes place before Blurryface. So I forget if I said this in the beginning of this video where I said Blurryface, Skill and Icy, Trench. I think it might be Skill and Icy, Blurryface, Trench, which is interesting. The first couple songs we get are from each era that Josh was in, which means we get nothing from self-titled at all. Of course, we start off in the current era with Choker, then we go into Stressed Out, Blurryface, and we go into Migraine, which I screamed when I heard that because I love Migraine, which is from Vessel. Then we go into Morph. Now, Morph is significant when it comes to this because of what was in the background, which was fans at a concert of 21 Pilots, and they even include the "Was" that Tyler would sing during the concert. The fans would chant back to them, which of course is just a little homage to, hey, we miss it playing in front of people. But in the storyline sense, it's just Tyler having a flashback to playing in front of people. Then they go into Holding On To You. Dima doesn't like that, and then they cut the feed. But the biggest thing to take out here is that we got a flashback to each single era of 21 Pilots that Josh was in, including a little flashback to when they performed live in concerts. Then we get into our first commercial with Dan and Sally promoting the Skill and Icy album. And Dan says something in here that when I listened for a second time really caught me off guard, and that was that he said, "They don't play hits like these on the radio anymore." Dan, what are you talking about? The album just came out. If you're referring to this nostalgia of the album, I agree. They don't play songs like this on the radio anymore. But this album just came out. I didn't even know there was radios in Dima. So that line, "they don't play hits like these on the radio anymore," just to me kind of screams, hey, these songs took place before Trench got released. This took place a pre-vialism time. This took place peak vialism, and everything's kind of going downhill. Speculation Station, gotta love it, my favorite location. Then they say new album by 21 Pilots, which turns you back to, okay, this isn't a prequel. Then Dan comes at it again with, "It features such classics." Again, Dan, the album literally just came out the day this showed. You can't call these songs classics yet. I mean, I fully agree. Shy Away, Choker, Mulberry Street, they are classics. However, him saying that they're classics even make me think these songs are from a pre-Dima time. Like maybe these were old Dima folk songs that they used to sing before vialism took over, and Tyler and Josh were forced to record these songs again, bring them out to the public as like a little, hey, you know what, we're good, here are some of the songs you haven't heard of in forever. You miss these songs, we'll bring them back if you respect and will commit to vialism, guys. I mean, like, people recording old folk songs isn't unheard of. Like, there are many regions all over the world that record old folk songs. That's people start with their albums with. That's what they start their musical careers with. From the infomercial, we move into Mulberry Street, where we see the set from Mulberry Street for the first time, and it's an absolutely amazing set. I mean, everyone's having a good time here. Everyone's clothes looks fashionable. The set is filled with saturation, much like Tyler's hair. Has a lot of saturation with it, which is why I think that it takes place in a pre-Vialism, pre-Bishop time. Like, this was the old Dima. Dima was a nice place to live where everyone had a good time every day, and we didn't live in the same mundane cookie cutter day after day in this blank gray world. We got some sunny days here, not the rainy days that Dima likes to have. We got everyone wearing these fashionable clothes instead of these boring gray clothes, and people are allowed to experiment with their hair, much like Tyler having this cotton candy short haircut compared to what we've seen in the Blurry Face and as well is in the trench era. So I think when Vialism took over, the first thing it did was get rid of all the color. No one's allowed to have a good time. Same thing every single day. We live in this one uniform pattern, and we can't break this schedule. Respect Vialism, kids. No, don't. It's propaganda stuff. From Mulberry Street, we transition to the Lane Boy. Nothing really happens in Lane Boy. I just love Lane Boy and I love the transition so much. I guess if there's anything to talk about, it is that at the beginning of Lane Boy, you hear the voiceover that we talked about at the very beginning of Redecorate Chlorine. The exact same Redecorate line plays at the very beginning of the Lane Boy transition from Clancy's journal, and it continues until it gets to the why do I need all these concepts, tempted by control, controlled by temptation, stay low, they say stay low section. Then we get into Lane Boy, we get into Chlorine, then we get into Shy Away, which, hear me out with this one. There are a lot of mountains around Dima. It's a very mountainous region from what we've seen in the Nico and the Niners music video as well as in the Jumpsuit music video, and the video did take place in Iceland. It's a snowy mountain. Iceland, guys. Like, Tyler maybe had to, to get to Dima in the first place, cross these entire mountain ranges, or maybe even when he was escaping Dima for the first time, he went up into the mountains because he thought that the bishops couldn't get them. However, he had to go back down the mountain because he knew if he would stay up there, he would be a goner because he couldn't catch his breath because altitude and stuff, and also hypothermia. From there, we go into another infomercial with Dan and Sally, and of course, in this part, they're looking a little bit more beaten up. Now, we're not going to dwell on this too much. This is a topic for a different video. However, I'd like to point out Dan's opening line here. I remember the first time I heard these classics, it brought a tear to my eye. Dan, once again, this broadcast was shown the same day this album came out. You can't just call these classics, and where did you hear these songs before in the first place? Now, I know what you're thinking. A lot of interviewers gave a pre-release version of the album before, much like Zane Lowe did when he interviewed Tyler for Apple Music, and much like the ET Can the person got when they were interviewing Tyler, and that's when they dropped that Saturday featured Jenna on it. So it is quite possible, and Dan was probably in the studio with Tyler recording and doing some background vocals. Once again, that's a topic for another video, but he calls them classics again. You can't just go around calling them classics unless they've been out for quite some time, which makes me think this is a prequel even more, just strong prequel theories here. And then also, maybe possibly, I don't know, maybe this album came out in a pre-Dima universe. Like I said, before the bishops, before Vialism, in a time where Dima was vibrant like Mulberry Street, where everyone was having a good time. Maybe this was such a beloved album by the people. Vialism and the bishops took over, they got rid of this album, and now they're repackaging it to the people of Dima as hey, you remember this? Nostalgia music, guys. And it's kind of like what they did in mid-2000s with a CD called, Now That's What I Call Music. And basically what they would do is they would take the top 100 songs in radio, put 20 of them together, and release it out to the public as this big compilation album. And maybe that's what they're going for here, because they do keep calling it a collection, like a CVS ad, advertising these classic songs that may or may not have been out in a Dima universe before already. Because it's weird that Dan keeps throwing out the word classics. Then from Tyler and Boat, we get into Jumpsuit and Heavy Dirty Soul, two songs that, especially with Jumpsuit, I didn't think they were going to be playing at this concert because it was a Dima ran concert. After all, it was sponsored by DimaOrg.info as well as Good Day Dima. They shouldn't be putting anything from Trench in here. Like, yeah, they played Morph, but they cut out the verse with Nicholas Bourbaki. Jumpsuit is a very pro-Bandito, anti-Dima song, which is why I think everything's a flashback, because this is a flashback to when Tyler wasn't a prisoner by Dima, where he had a chance to escape. He wasn't held captive by the bishops, and he could run away as many times as he could into this Bandito world, this Jumpsuit thing. And let's get into the part that was at the very beginning that I wanted to save until now. There is the transition from the interview to Choker. We get into a very, Sal and Dan get into very low distorted territory to where you can barely understand what they're saying. Now, people on Twitter have figured out what they're saying, and at FPE_art, or Clancy's Journal on Twitter, has posted this back on May 22nd. Dan says, "What a silly little album. How about Trench? Sally, yes. Oh, wait. I barely remembered to let them think this is amazing. Sing a song from their new album." Then we get into Choker. Now, this you can view as a plot hole to the flashback sort of thing. The fact that they are saying, what is the little album, Trench, and they're saying, sing a song from their new album, which goes into Choker. Unless, now we're grabbing at straws here, but maybe, quite possibly, it's Gil Nicey, Trench, Blurry Face, final album, like we're going backwards, sort of thing. Then we get to the final infomercial of Dan and Sally. Now, there isn't a lot to talk about this classic album full of classic songs here. They are mainly just spitting some Dima propaganda at the viewer, and it's like a Dima mind control sort of thing, saying, "We come for you." No chances, not at all. Laughter. I don't know where my mind went, and Tyler's, of course, watching this TV. So you don't get a lot of flashback stuff here. Then we go moving to Saturday. We don't get a lot of stuff there, just some more dancing. We transition to Level Concern. Again, don't get much stuff there. Then we get into car radio. Then all these bells and whistles start to go off. And as these alarms are going off, a lot of people pointed this out, including friend of the channel Jake Allen on his live stream Easter eggs video, which you all should go check out, link in the description below. It's a really good video, guys. But he points out that Tyler, when these alarms are going off, Tyler's just walking normal, like he's used to these sounds while everyone else is running in the background. And Jake also points out that it's like someone is trying to escape Dima. Who might that person be, or people be? Could it be that my Nico and the Niners theory was right and that this was a stage thing? Or is it Clancy? Who knows? But if we go with this as a flashback, and this is all in Tyler's mind, and like, as flashbacks are within your imagination and mind area, he is just used to hearing all these sounds. So like, his imagination continues to like go as he's hearing these sounds because he's used to it. He's used to these failed perimeter escapes. He's escaped Dima how many times? Look at Jumpsuit. Look at Nico and the Niners. He's used to these failed perimeter escapes. He's used to these alarms going off, which takes us into the final song, Never Take It, which takes place in Mulberry Street on fire. Now, that's a crucial thing. We're going to talk about Never Take It on the channel later on, because there's some theories when it comes to that stuff. However, if we're thinking of this like a flashback, it is when Vialism and the Bishops started taking over with an iron fist, literally setting Mulberry Street and cars on fire to a point to where they took over in this revolution sort of thing. They had enough people fighting for them, which caused, the Banditos to form and all this. And possibly that Never Take It takes place during the revolution of Vialism and the Bishops taking over control of Dima. Then we end the whole thing with a Choker reprise, and if we go with Never Take It, like it was a revolution for Dima and Vialism, maybe Tyler could have done something to prevent all this from happening to begin with, before the thing he used to know and love got turned into this living hell nightmare sort of thing. Maybe Tyler could have done something, and he lives with this guilt, and he has those flashbacks constantly of, I should have done this, I could have done this, that would have stopped everything. And that's why the Banditos have quit coming for me. That's why I'm stuck in the Dima forever, because as we know, it is all in Tyler's imagination. Josh wasn't present at all in storyline sense all in here, because Josh might have been with Banditos planning for the end game, as I mentioned in my Josh the Cleans video. But that is basically the whole entire live stream summed up when it comes to the flashbacks and the whole prequel thing. Of course, like most theories, my GoPro died. That was really fun. So before I was rudely cut off GoPro, I was saying that this theory has some plot holes like most of the theories do. Like my Nico and Niners happened on May 21st theory, that had some plot holes. The end game of the Dima storyline entirely is that it was all a dream, has some plot holes. The fact that mind control has plot holes. The clone theory has plot holes. The Josh the Keon's theory has plot holes, and this is no different. Because, of course, there will be a lot of people to point out stuff in the comment section below, so go check those out, because their voices are valid also, and they acknowledge there are plot holes. Much like how Dan kept saying, with these classic songs, you'll throw in this new album in there as well. The fact that they were talking before, like these load-stored voices, calling out Trent, saying what a silly little album that was, as it came out, and then they're saying the song off the new album, Tyler goes in the choker. The fact that they did perform Jumpsuit and stuff, the fact that, like, there was some stuff in here that could be, like, null and void when it comes to flashbacks, like Tyler in a boat, so people can point out that something completely different than Tyler traveling to Dima or shying away in the snowy mountain region of the Dima area. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Do you have anything that can contribute to the, I almost said clone theory, can contribute to the SAI is a prequel theory? Let me know down in the comment section below. I will read all of them. I read all of the comments. I'm bad at responding to them because I am a busy little boy outside of YouTube. But I read all the comments, and I would love to hear what you guys think. So let me know down in the comment section below. If you have a theory, let me know on Twitter, let me know on Instagram, let me know on the Discord chat, link in the description below, and you can also email me as well. You can put them down in the YouTube comments, because like I said, I will read them. But anyway guys, I'm going to go edit this video, get it out by some point tonight. But anyway guys, I'll go ahead, see you later. Really hope you enjoyed. I really hope you have a good day. Goodbye, good night, but more importantly, as I said before, have a good day. See you later.